All right, so it's late 2020, and what is everybody gonna remember from 2020? What is everybody looking for, and what do they want? TP? Well, maybe earlier in the year. Now, it's ammunition. You got a lot of first-time gun owners buying guns. Last number I heard was like 8 million new gun owners this year, and they all want ammunition. But the problem is, all your popular calibers, 9mm especially, 40, 45 ACP, 38 Special, 357 Magnum, you know, your 223 5.56, all that stuff is hard to find. And we do find it, the prices are just through the roof. It's ridiculous what people are charging for this stuff. I'm seeing 9mm FMJ, you know, standard range ammo. I'm seeing that stuff for 80 cents to $1.20 per round. You know, like for instance, Cellar and Bellet, cheap stuff. I paid $8 for this box back in February of this year. This same box now, I find it regularly for like $60. I've not bought a factory round since February. So people want to know how to reload. They can't find ammunition, so they want to know about reloading. And as far as reloading, a lot of people are buying equipment and all this stuff, and they're inquiring about how to go about using it. But then there comes another problem, and that is a drastic shortage of reload components, especially primers, you know, powders, projectiles. In a lot of cases, people just aren't able to find it. Now, I was one of the ones that stocked up late last year, so I've got a supply that should last me several years. You know, primers and all that good stuff. And people want to do this because they'll see your factory ammo in the store. We'll take 9mm, for example. That's probably the most popular one out there that you don't see. And people see this stuff for 80 cents to $1.20 per round. And they're like, hey, you know, I could probably reload it cheaper. And then they hear about people reloading their own. You know, there's some FMJs and some of my cast. These FMJs, I probably reload these for about 12 to 14 cents each. And these casts, I reload these for 4 cents each. And yes, that includes projectile, powder, primer, case, all that good stuff. I've got about 4 cents in each of these. So then comes the question, what do I need to do to get started reloading? How do I learn all this good stuff? So to comply with YouTube's rules and whatnot, I'm going to put some videos out. I'm going to try to limit. I don't want to show how to manufacture ammunition because that's not their policy, and they'll end up taking my channel down. But I'll tell you what I tell all people that are interested in reloading for the first time, and that is get a load manual. I use these 4 here. I buy the Hudson annual manual every year that comes out. It's got updated information in it. Usually have some articles, new powder profiles, new cartridges, all that good stuff. But then you've got, the Modern Lee book. That's got a lot of good information in it. You know, not just load data. You'll have a lot of stuff on, how-tos and all the good stuff. Some of the things that we won't be able to show you on YouTube. But things to look for. Well, one of the problem with the Lee manuals, they show a lot of their equipment. They kind of advertise their own stuff in it like a catalog. And Hornady will do the same thing in their book. The Hornady book specializes in their bullets. But as you can see, they mainly show load data for their stuff. But Hornady is one of the largest producers of factory jacketed ammunition. So if you go back here to the beginning of any load manual, you'll see information on equipment, information on bullets. In this case, Hornady's designed their FTX and FTP polymer tip stuff. But in here, you'll start seeing information that you'll need to know regardless of the equipment you use. Just basic reloading information, stuff on pressure, headspace, overall length, case defects, what causes case head separation, how to know when a case is beyond its use. Now, if I can only recommend one book, I probably recommend the Lyman 50th edition Reloading Handbook. Now this, like the other one, it's got all the your load data toward the back. But I don't feel that Lyman is biased on their own equipment. Because if you go, like I said, up toward the front of it, you'll have a whole lot of information just on reloading in general. It's got a little section on casting, which we'll get into that in a minute. I do casting and powder coating and all that stuff, and I'll actually do some videos on here covering some of that stuff. This is on powders. Have information on each powder, and you'll actually have a chart, a burn rate table. I think all these books will have it. You know, it goes from your fastest powders to your slowest powders. These just a brief overview of all the different powders out there that's currently available. Covers primers. A lot of questions that people will ask on social media to current reloaders that are interested in getting into this is, can I use this primer for this cartridge? Can I do this? Can I do that? Will a single stage load rifle and pistol? The answer is yes. With the exception of like 50 BMG, you can load about any cartridge and, you know, standard presses like this. This is a Lee turret press. And over here I've got a single stage. Kind of cramped here on my reload bench, but it doesn't matter. I don't use those two presses much. I primarily use this. And then for case prep, I'll use the Lee app press over here. But what I recommend is get one of these books before you buy components, before you try to buy any equipment or anything, and do some reading, study up on this stuff. I'm pretty much self-taught when it comes to reloading. Learned from books. I went to some forums, but you'll find a wealth of information in here. It's better than what Joe Blow's going to tell you on the internet. Oh, this is my favorite load, and all this good stuff. And you know, what works in one man's barrel may not work in your barrel as far as accuracy goes. And he may be shooting a hot load, say through a Ruger Blackhawk 45 Lone Colt, and you try that same thing through a 45 Colt replica like a Uberti, and you're going to blow your gun up. You know, those Colt clones, they were designed for much lower pressures than like a more modern firearm. So you don't want to, you know, go into reloading or anything without a load manual. You'll be listening to Joe Blow on the internet, and before you know it, you've got a missing fingers, a face full of metal, or whatever. Actually, I'll show you something right here, a little first-hand experience. This did not come from a reload. This actually came from factory ammunition, and I'll do a video talking about this at some point. But this was, you know, 45 Lone Colt. It was a double charge. I'm not going to name the maker of the ammunition because they did right by me. They replaced the firearm. But you see, this could have been bad. Unfortunately, nobody was hurt. It just split the cylinder, set the rounds off in the neighboring cylinder and neighboring chambers of the cylinder, and destroyed the firearm. But we'll go over that in a later video. But it goes to show that the reloading, there's not a lot of room for mistakes. It's not rocket science, but you do have to follow instructions. You do need to read and go by published information in these books, published information online by the powder manufacturers, bullet manufacturers. The internet is not a good place, you know, to find reload data as far as forums and things like that. Because, you know, at the end of the day, it's your eyesight, your fingers, your firearm. So, in the meantime, get you a reload manual. Do some reading on it. Figure out what type of equipment you'll need. You know, for metallic reloading, which is, you know, pistol, rifle, not shotgun cartridges. That requires a whole different type press. but you'll take one of these books and it'll let you know what type of equipment you need for what you're going to load. So rifle, it requires extra equipment for case trimming and case lube and all that kind of stuff. And then, you know, when primers and powder becomes back more readily available and the prices come down, you'll know what equipment you need, and you can start accumulating some components and start learning to reload. And then get into the vast majority of, you know, all the different various tools and you know, just all kinds of, you know, a lot of people say you can't save money on reloading, you just end up spending a ton of money. Well, that's true in a way. It'll allow you to shoot more. Times like this, you'll save a great deal of money. Like I said, these, you know, these cast 9mm cartridges I load here, I've got thousands of them loaded. They're 4 cents a piece. And times like this, you're going to save a lot of money. Rifle cartridges, other than 223, 5.56, and normal times, you know, it's relatively cheap, but you're going to save a significant amount of money when you reload that stuff during a rush, an election year, panic buying, all that good stuff. I stocked up late last year on components in anticipation of this election, in case it went bad, which it appears to have gone that way. But nobody would have known about the pandemic, the riots, all that kind of stuff. It really kicked off the frenzy a lot earlier than anticipated. I figured things would start getting hard to find and prices would go up around July or August because of the election. I didn't think it was going to start, you know, mid-February. But I stocked up. I was prepared. I've got enough I could shoot several years. And, you know, my son and I, we shoot a lot. We try to go at least every week or every other week. But anyway, I'm going to start adding some more videos to this channel. This is kind of a introduction, I guess you could say, for the people that are new and coming into it. Like I said, get a load manual. Oh, this one right here I didn't show you. This is this Lyman's Cast Bullet Handbook. You're probably not going to want to start off casting. It's a whole extra thing. It requires some extra equipment. But it's got more cast bullet data than you'll find in the standard book, which will have some, but it's got a lot of jacketed. This is cast only. Various bullet weights, mold designs. And it's got a tremendous amount of information in the first half of the book on casting, dealing with leading, how to prevent leading. Just a wealth of information here. Really good book. If I had to say get only 2 books for reloading, these are probably the 2 I would recommend. And every year, like I said, Hodgdon, they come out with theirs. I buy it every year. It's got a awesome amount of information in it. It'll have it'll have some load data in here that you won't find in the big books. And actually, one of those burn rate charts is in this, if I can find the thing. I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, here's a burn rate chart. It'll be from fastest to slowest. If this focus is going in and out, I apologize. I'm actually shooting this. Since this is an early video, firearm related, I'm actually shooting this with my phone. But I've got some nice, some good quality camera equipment I'll use in future. But this is just meant to be a short video to start off. But a burn rate chart, you know, powder usage, all that good stuff. And it's got some powder profiles in here. Of course, you know, this being a Hodgdon book, you know, they're going to have a lot of their stuff. You'll see Winchester, which I think Winchester is actually part of Hodgdon now. I know, like Winchester 231, you know, this powder here is basically the same stuff as HP 38, which is another Hodgdon powder. I use those both in 38 Special quite a bit with good results. But yeah, if you're new coming into this, subscribe to this channel, follow me. Also check out Fortune Cookie 45 LC if you're interested in casting, powder coating, Elvis Ammo is another good one. There's some other good channels I'll recommend in the future that I watch. But I'm gonna close this video out for now. Subscribe and stick around. I'm gonna put some more videos up shortly. I'm gonna try to add regular content, at least 2 videos per week. Sometimes shooting, but a lot of it's gonna be, you know, stuff for helping new reloaders and bullet casters get started out. Thanks for watching.